Local swell trackers Thursday evening, the 16th, right before Big Friday. Are you ready to rock and roll all the way through next weekend? Here we go. Taking a look at the North Pack from last Monday. We had kind of a pair of low pressures coming off of Japan, and the 180 dateline is only 1,200 miles away, and you can already see some of the fetch hitting it. One of the things about the next 3 or 4 storms, they get really close to Hawaii Ne because the jet stream is so low off of Japan. It's really solid with some 200 knot winds in it, and it comes all the way out through the 7-day forecast period beyond us to our east. So the storms are enhanced and steered by the jets, and I will show you that here shortly. But let's take a look at the actual surface winds. We had some hurricane force winds in this puppy, and take a look at them. There's our 1-2 punch there, and look how close that fetch gets to us, nosing some of it to within 300 miles, most of it 600 miles and out, but that's still super close. Open ocean swells lose about half their height every 1,000 miles traveled, and a lot of them, they stay put way out here a couple thousand miles away, and we still get 10-foot waves. But these guys are getting right on top of us, and in addition, they have very large seas of 40 feet and up. So this is the culprit for Friday, that we'll be seeing some 15 to 25-foot surf, 40-foot faces. Jaws will be epic. Outer reefs going off. We'll have northeasterly winds. It won't be the most perfect for the northern shores, but other spots will get really good. So there you go. And then here comes the secondary storm. That one will boost us up to Sunday to near 20 feet again. So it's a 1-2 punch here. Let me take you over to the current models. Okay, resuming for Thursday and Friday, here is a look at it right on top of us. We saw the surf go from 6-7 feet early Thursday to 15 plus, and outside sets breaking by 11 noon 1 o'clock. It was very stormy, few takers at the bay, and it was, it ended up being 18 feet today. It grew so fast, and this is the reason right here. There's those two low pressure cells that teamed up on each other and adding energy to each other, and we are peaking at 16 feet, 16 to 18 seconds on this guy. Clicking in the animation, here comes Sunday swell. This one goes past the date line here Friday, Saturday, with hurricane force winds, which is about 65 and up knots, and also gets really close to us. Now, this event will be a bit smaller than the last event, but still a healthy 20 feet. We're not going to complain. Now, we do have associated, a cold front right now is on Kauai, dissipating, but there's a series of fronts that'll be switching our winds. They're expected to go Kona again by Tuesday, Wednesday, with another approaching front. Until then, though, there's enough going on up there with the highs and these low pressures to keep a northeasterly flow to the winds for the next several days. But that's not a bad storm there, and we see a little bit of support for Tuesday. Not near as big as these guys because it's not a direct hit. And then we come up to the granddaddy of them all. Let's stop the models here and take a look at Monday the 20th at a storm system on the date line. Now this thing bombs with a low pressure millibars going below 950. We see some seas in this thing of 50 feet. It's not that far away, maybe 1,000 miles. There's incredibly strong winds and high seas in this guy. And there you go. Take a look at that guy and look at him heading off. Giant waves all the way over to the coast. And look how close this storm gets to us. So again, we're claiming this one rising rapidly Wednesday. It'll be 15 to 30 feet minimum on Wednesday all the way into Thursday. And will the Quicksilver Eddie Aikau go? It may. This will be the most promising swell in this period. In fact, this will probably end up being, if not one of the biggest swells of the entire winter season right here. And there's another storm coming up behind it, but we're just going to let that one go for now and focus again on this amazing run of swell. So here you go, 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one being the biggest right there. Okay, now let's take a look at the South Pack, because guess what? We have some out of season, above average south swells on the way. This goes back to Monday the 13th, last Monday. Here's a nice wide fetch. It's fairly close to New Zealand. That limits the ability of the seas to grow to the maximum potential. If this guy was a little bit further out and up towards us, we would be better off. However, this guy will still be bringing us up 2.5, maybe 3 feet, 15 seconds, open ocean, Monday the 20th. That's this Monday. And we could see some solid should see some solid 3-foot sets Monday evening into Tuesday and even Wednesday and possibly Thursday. Taking a look at it, it lasted quite a while. Seas were able to maximize. And then take a look at this. Yep, we have another one, and this one's promising to be even stronger. Let's get to Friday the 17th. Here's that system that was just forming at the end of the loops on the last frame. This guy right here, again hugging the coast of New Zealand, which is a bummer, but it does last a long time and has a captured fetch, meaning the center of the storm is moving the same direction as the fetch, and it allows for more solid sea growth, and it does get to above New Zealand, and that means the fetch is closer with less swell decay than the last event. This one, I don't know. I'd like to call 2 to 4 out of this on Thursday, Friday. We'll just have to wait and see. And then here's another one. It's broad, but it's going to be smaller than the next two, but that'll keep us up over the week after next. And a little Tasman sea swell. We're just going to leave that alone. But look at this. At the very end of the models, Thursday and Friday, the 23rd and 24th, for the end of the month, we could see a little something boosting us back up. So with all the northwest wrap and the southwesters coming in, town's going to be happening. Okay, let's take a look at the broad overview jet stream. These large upper air currents steer and enhance our winter lows. And look how beautiful it is. It's dropped down low. Tokyo Express all the way from off Japan just to our north, and actually it will pass off into the east of it. And then it will retrograde once again later. But for now, we're stoked. Now let's go down and take a look at the South Pac jet. It goes right over New Zealand according to this model. That's why we're getting those storms coming right up the east coast. We'll let the models run and take a look at the beautiful North Pac jet and even the South Pac jet, bringing swell potential for both hemispheres, and that's what the WaveWatch 3s are confirming. Now take a look at the jet here in about 4 days, Monday the 20th next week. It's still going to be pretty special. We'll keep you posted on what this guy helps produce. Some of the winds in the jet are over 200 knots, and that's really conducive for storm development. Okay, now it's time for those surface charts. There's the big low bringing us in our big waves Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Here's the next low coming in, bringing its associated front. The high pressure here in between them is what's allowing the winds to stay northeast for a little bit, competing with that low pressure. That front, again, hovering over Kauai now, dissipating. High pressure replacing it briefly. Next low pressure pumps us up to 20 feet, hopefully on Sunday. Fading a little bit on Monday, but it gets some more support. Hand-drawn surface charts don't show the next low because it's less than a day loop. Now let's go from the surface all the way up to the upper regions, showing features 20,000 feet and up. The water vapor loop showing the counterclockwise spinning gargantuan low. We're in slightly unstable atmosphere. You can see the flow to the lower levels and the upper levels showing that northwesterly flow. That's what just ruined the North Shore conditions today. Here's another prettier look at that scenario. Highs are going to be about 80, lows in the 67, 68, so cool evenings, especially thanks to those northeasterly winds. Southerly winds could be with us on Tuesday, Wednesday ahead of that next front. And there's a really nice picture of the cold front over Kauai and trying to reach Oahu this evening. Again, this will be dissipating. That has brought in some lousy winds for the country. Drilling down a little bit further, you can see it. Winds will stay north on Friday, and sprinkles should be dissipating Friday into Saturday, but some more rain next week. 'Tis the season. I'll be updating this next week ahead of this next big storm, let's say Wednesday. And thanks for being here. Mahalo.